All right, fight fans, here we go with our third bout of the evening. This fight will consist of three 3-minute rounds in the front three fights in a catch weight bout. Let me introduce to you our fighters. First, fighting out of the red corner to my right, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 164 pounds, coming in with a record of 4 wins against just 1 defeat. Representing Team No Excuse from Caldwell, Idaho, I give you Micahel Garcia. His opponent across the ring in the blue corner to my left stands in at 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighs in at an even 171 pounds with a record of 6 wins against just 3 defeats. He represents Valley Fitness and Flores School of Boxing from Kamiah, Idaho. I give you Jessee the Strangler Gengler. Our referee in charge of this bout is Ruin Day.
All right, we are underway. Micahel Garcia, Jessee Gengler. How long does this one go? We're about to find out right now. And how upset do you think Micahel is at his opponent, as what you've said sometimes, somewhat disrespecting you by not making weight?
Yeah, you know, you both have to suffer, and if he doesn't suffer, you know, that could light his fire. But you know, let's just get over that. I'm off that subject.
Okay. Early on, Micahel Garcia is showing the focus. Jessee Gengler seems to be a little bit more laxed. His mouthpiece going in and out. Goes for a quick kick, falls back directly, and Micahel Garcia is right there on top of him, throwing about 3 right hands to the side of his face there.
So Garcia needs to keep. Oh shoot, I forgot because I was thinking about weight cuts. Keep Jesse's back against the cage. Don't let him get out. Don't let him push his feet off the cage. So it's, yeah, there you go. Putting his head against the cage is a lot better position for him. But you see Jessee starting to climb a high guard. Start looking for an arm bar or a triangle. See how high he's climbing his guard? And getting slammed is definitely not.
It's going to take the weight out of you, and that happens more and more. That's going to loosen you up.
Well, it's not a good defense to do, because when you slam the guy on top, if he's doing the slamming, a lot of times that sets stuff in, as we saw a long time ago with Cesar Scalavos.
Final 2 minutes here of round number 1 between Micahel Garcia and Jessee Gengler. Of course, all amateur fights, 3-minute rounds here at Front Street Fights 8 Young Guns, presented by bodybuilding.com. And when we get into the mission, we'll talk more about the Young Guns aspect here and some things coming up in the future. But again, Jessee doing a good job, as you know, Micahel applying the pressure, has him backed against the cage, not letting him totally get outworked right now.
Yeah. So what you see right here is Micahel's trying to pop up. You know, he needs to get here. You're looking for a triangle right here. He's got one arm in, one arm out. There you go.
Micahel just tossing him aside, trying to get those rights and left in. Jessee Gengler using the legs there to keep him pushed away.
We have another triangle. And see, he keeps trying to
There's a slam, but throws the elbow in as well, too.
Yeah.
Nice little addition.
Right now they're kind of sticky. You know, they don't have a big sweat going on, so it's, you know, advantage to Jessee to try some submissions. But if this gets to be the same type of position in the further rounds, it's not going to work nearly as well, and it's not working now. So, you know, I would say, if I was his coach, I would say, hey, stop trying to play a ground game next to the fence. Try to wall walk, get your back to the cage, get up, and, you know, get back in action. But, you know, it's a disadvantage to a grappler playing half guard with your side in the cage. Now we have mount.
You got final 35 seconds here of round number 1 between Micahel Garcia and Jessee Gengler. Jessee doing a good job keeping Micahel at bay there, making him work for whatever he is trying to get to at this point.
And see, I don't understand this. You know, Jesse's trying to do a headlock and roll him off a mount, which is never even going to work. So, you know, he's wasting just a lot of energy.
Micahel coming in there with a right and a left there towards the end as we come up on the final 12 seconds here.
There you have a backdoor escape attempt.
About 3 right hands there by Micahel Garcia.
Yeah, what you see Jessee is just holding on, you know. And when you hold on, that stops the punches, but that's not what gets you out. You need to make separation, and you need to bridge, you need to buck, you need to get out of there.
And if we get a tight look there on the left cheek or right cheek there of Micahel Garcia, you're going to see some of the replays coming right here. Again, they throw some early bombs. Jessee going for that leg kick, which could have been a crucial mistake there, which allowed Micahel Garcia to get his back against the cage, which is where they would remain for the rest of the first round. But some ice being applied to the right side of Micahel Garcia's face right now. Obviously got caught with a good shot somewhere there that we couldn't see. Has got a pretty big lump on his face.
Yeah, you know, I I really like watching Micahel Garcia, do a little bit of work. There he is with his slams. Not expecting too much out of him. This is really just a learning process. And you see the slams there. I hope Jessee keeps his mouthpiece in and just keeps focusing. And let's see if his corner tells him not to play the ground game during this first exchange.
All right, here we go. Round number 2. Rulon Day giving us a signal, and we are on our way for the next 3 minutes. Now, how much, is that going to worry Michael that he's going to have that vision impaired potentially from his right side? Jessee going for a kick again. Micahel Garcia obviously wanting to take this to the ground. Good defense right now by Jessee.
Michael's doing the right thing by driving his hips forward. He needs to try to stand up, not back out. See, if he backs out, he's going to get caught in a choke. But see, this is an arm-in guillotine. And a lot of times it's just, there you go, it's not going to work.
Just like that, Micahel Garcia able to slip out of it. No sweat there. Sometimes that looks like the scariest one. That looks like the scariest one, but
yeah,
a lot of the times, unless you can get at it pretty quick, generally is not.
Michael needs to move Jesse's head back in the cage because Jesse's able to use this the cage to push off of, which just makes it really awkward to get out of. And we're back to this headlock thing. I don't get this headlock. I don't understand what's going on here.
We encourage all of you following along right now on Cable 1 Channel 72 or live at youtube.com/Front Street Fights. If you're on social media, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or if you're joining us on the live chat on YouTube to talk about this fight, go ahead and use the hashtag Garcia versus Gengler. Let us know what you think about this fight. We'll read some of your comments on the air, and we invite you to be a part of the action tonight.
Now we have back control. Garcia took the hook out. I would probably keep that hook back inside and drive the hips in and really get heavy on him and make him carry your weight. That's usually what happens. With having one hook in, you're more mobile, you're less committal, but then also, you're not really. Here's a Kimura that might work. I mean, we'll see.
If he can get that locked in, that's one.
Jessee really needs a hip escape to the left, get on his other side and face that so he can really start cranking on some pressure. He's got a pretty good lock.
And that's one. He's getting that locked in. If he get that full locked in, this one's not going to last much longer. There, the Kimura lock there, one of the hardest to withstand at any point if you're locked inside of it.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good staying. Now he changed positions, did a reversal out of it. Now he really just needs to let go. Let go and start, pounding some, getting some punches in and getting good position. He understands good positioning, except for when he's in mount. As
we're in the final minute of round number 2 between Micahel Garcia and Jessee Gengler, the first offense we've seen from Jessee yet this fight as he tries to lock in that armbar on Micahel Garcia.
Oh, it needs to get back up. See, laying down like that's a big mistake. Once your armbar starts to fail from a mount, you need to get back on top, just let go of the arm and get back to mount.
And you can see the offensive flurry comes pretty quick, but then both of these fighters good at defenses. Micahel Garcia tries to land about 2 or 3 hard lefts there to the side of the body there, looking like he's going to want to slam him again.
Yeah, Jesse's climbing his guard high again. He's going to look to turn his hips out and look for an armbar, but, just with his head in the cage like this, Garcia's doing a really good job of nullifying his hips.
And there we go. We make it to round number 2. This arguably or easily is the longest fight we've had tonight, but also one of the slowest as – a lot of offense there expelled by Micahel Garcia. Jessee doing really good on the defense, letting Michael get a couple of good looks, but then able to brush him off as we go along.
Yeah, I think we're spoiled. We have a lot of talent, on this card and the previous cards. And, these guys are really just learning their lessons. And they're both doing really well. There's a lot of missed opportunities. And there's a lot of things that they're doing right. So, our job is to explain stuff, and my job is to kind of start to say, hey, you could do this, this, or this. But they're fighting it out. They're doing a really good job, and they just need to keep doing what they're doing. I would just say with Jessee, when he's too comfortable on the ground, and the fight's starting to pass him by.
All right, we are underway in round number 3 between Jessee Gengler and Micahel Garcia. And another hard slam there, Micahel Garcia, obviously wanting to bring this one down to the ground tonight.
Yeah, and it's kind of more of the same. And, these guys are fighting their hearts out, so it's really good. But, the only thing Jessee really had, as an advantage was that Kimura. And now we're in the 3rd round. We're getting a lot of body sweat. Michael's doing the right thing by kind of keep grinding and doing that head position, not letting Jessee climb his guard high. But, this hasn't worked for the last 2 rounds for Jessee, and he needs to do something drastically different, I think, So this is just not a good strategy to keep.
Sometimes they say defense is a good, or the best offense is a good defense.
Yeah.
Jessee seems to be able to hold off with his defense, but again, it took him the better part of round 2 to finally get some offense going. As Micahel Garcia has him backed in to the corner, they're able to land a couple of blows to the body.
Yeah, Garcia's doing a really good job, keeping his. He needs to just try to get his head free a little bit, drive his hips in a little bit more, but sit up more, generate a little bit more power. Now you see Jessee using the cage once again, like I talked about, to turn his head. He's going to get a really big ballistic movement. Also, another thing for viewers to understand is, this is a vinyl covered mat, not a canvas. So, once you start slipping and sliding, you get sweaty. It's sometimes a disadvantage for grapplers, I think.
Little hits, Mike. Little hits. Go, Mike.
Got about 1:20 left in round number 3. This has all the lookings like we're going to get our first judge's decision, but again, you never know. You don't want to put the cart before the horse here. But as we come up on the final 10, Mitch, as Roulandet stands them up to get some more action, what do they have to do in this final minute if this does indeed go the length and they have to sway it one way or the other in the judge's mind?
Well, in my mind, Michael's winning this fight 2 rounds to 0. He just needs to keep doing the same stuff. And I think Jessee needs to put his mouthpiece back in and
going
do
for a little Superman punch there, but
drastic.
Going for the guillotine again, which we saw brings him
control.
down. Now, is he going to be able to lock that in on Micahel Garcia? As we saw in round number 2, Michael got out of it, as he does again.
Yeah, Jessee, like I said, is he's fighting really hard, but he needs to know when to let go of submissions. Like, this is not even a submission. He needs to recognize those things and start to pick up on them a little bit sooner.
All right, we're down to the final 30 seconds of round number 3. This looking like it's going to go the distance. As we say that, Micahel Garcia able to land 2 hard right hands and 2 left body shots there to Jessee Gengler. Coming up on the final 15 seconds. This is all they can do to sway the votes of the judges in their favor. Hard right knee there by Micahel Garcia as we hit the final 10 seconds in our final amateur bout of the night.
Turning his back, but holding on to him. So 2 things that you never want to do.
All right, and this one is over. This one goes the full distance. We are going to get our first judge's decision of the night. I think we can guess maybe which way this is going, but
absolutely.
How do you see this going? Split in any way, or do you think it's unanimous in your mind in favor of Micahel Garcia?
Unanimous, Micahel Garcia. He fought his heart out. Both these guys did really well. I just think, Jessee is just not doing the things he needs to do to win. He's relying too much on his grappling, and it's not working for him. He needs to, I've talked about this in previous cards. He needs to recognize, okay, I'm halfway through this fight. This isn't working. I got to switch my tactics. You can't just keep doing the same thing and just throwing more bad at it.
Definitely there. Again, there's one of the offensive maneuvers that Jesse's able to throw in there. All right, we are just waiting on the final judges' tally to come through. Now, of course, we are done with the amateur bout of the night. When we go to break here, we're going to actually step aside for a few minutes, for probably about 10 minutes, as we get settled for some in-cage stuff, obviously. And we got a treat for all the fans here. As we mentioned, some of the guys that we've seen around the cage tonight, we're going to actually bring inside and talk to them. Not the fighters, of course, some of the trainers as well. So when we go to commercial break here, we will step aside for about 10 minutes as we set up for the intermission. All right, the final tally looks like it is just about in, and we are going to step aside as Britt Talbert makes his way inside the cage here in just a second. All right, here comes Britt Talbert. We are going to step aside, and we are going to let the official announcement take place. Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for these two fighters right here? They went the distance all 3 rounds. With that said, we will have to go to the judges' scorecards. Our judge, Steve French, Howard Hazelbaker, and Randy Anderson have all scored this fight the same. A unanimous decision for our winner, out of the red corner, Micahel Garcia!